Morning guys.
Morning.
Today we're at Dundee to go to the Discovery Centre.
Yay.
Natalie's been buzzing for this one for a wee while.
I went when we were in primary school a long time ago and I've just always wanted to go back.
It's class. As you can see, we're staying at this Premier Inn that's just behind us, which is quality, right on the waterfront. And the Discovery Centre is just over here. So we can't wait, eh?
I know, it's a kind of nice day as well.
Oh, it's quality. There is sort of dark clouds over there, but we are buzzing to get in and get started and see what this is going to be like.
I'm excited.
Get on a boat.
Let's go learn.
So just before we go inside, we've got these wee penguins outside. And then we've got this, is that a mural you call these things? I'm not too sure you would call it. But it's pretty cool. Just walking in, I love the feel. Makes you feel like you're in the Antarctica. It's pretty cool. I was thinking about Antarctic's village there. And the adventure begins, Natalie. So our tickets are like an annual pass, you were saying?
That's quite handy, I didn't know that. I seen it was valid for 12 months.
That's cool. We've got the SS Active here. And then we've got a wee model. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
She was a whaling ship.
A whaling ship? Where did they weigh whales? A railway station. Yes, dad jokes. And here's, oh, I'll tell you something, that's something I wouldn't like to do as a job. Being a shipbuilder. Oof, that'd be crazy. They look as if they've had a hard run. Oh, Natalie, look at this. Boo. We don't like to see that. But that's just what happened, wasn't it? Well, see how good you are. See if you can actually load things onto the ship. Alright, oh, there you go. Easy. Oh. Oh, the boat almost tipped there. So what you're saying is you want to work in the shipbuilding? Or no, shipbuilding. What would you call that? Like the cargo?
I'll take it back that.
You took the meat off. It's telling you over here how you need to load it up. You need to be very careful. See it?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to take off next?
I don't know.
Your choice. You get flour. Presume the other one's meat as well.
I can't eat.
Can't do it. So that's it. You're just getting meat off. Right, put the meat back on then.
Alright.
This is what we like in the shipyards. Come on, time's money. Get me on. You'd be sacked already.
I'm doing alright.
Right, we'll call that a day for you then.
I did already get off, let's be honest. Do you want a shot? It's hard. See, it's not as easy as it looks.
The only problem is here is how do you get it to catch?
So you're sacked?
Oh, I'm definitely sacked. Look, for a minute. We're almost there. Right. I need to. The giant just came in. Oh, look at that.
That's cheating.
Lovely. Up we go. Very good.
That's cheating. That's cheating.
I mean, you're right, Natalie, I do like mustard, but maybe not that size. Look at the size of the container. Surely that can't be real. What?
I just
Is it?
to laugh. There's no shops up in Antarctica.
Oh, right. Aye. No shops. Look how cool is this, the inside of the boat and the hull.
Remember that penguin?
Did you hear it, the first bit there, them saying about how they had to kill seals and penguins, just club them on the deck to eat them? Oh, I don't really like that. It's cool inside it, isn't it?
What type of meat did the men on the Discovery eat?
Lamb chops, shank ends. Let's have a wee look. Oh, liver. I like liver. Liver's nice. I tell you.
How much it was?
How much meat they had to carry. The Discovery carried £35,000. Oh, that's a lot of meat.
45.
Mainly tinned.
45 live sheep.
What? That is crazy. And here's the bread. Oh, you couldn't have this, Natalie.
No.
You would be screwed, wouldn't you? How many loaves of bread would that make, do you think? 40 men for 2 years. How much flour did Discovery carry, and how many loaves would it make, do you reckon? Would you reckon about 20 tons, 20,000 tons? I don't know how many loaves that would make. That's how you look.
42.
Well, I said tons, I got it totally wrong. And look, that would make 84,000 loaves of bread over 2 years.
Can you imagine if I turned down and was like,
Guys, I'm gluten free. They would just be like to you, you beat it. At home, with clean fresh water instantly. How did the men in Discovery get their water they needed for drinking and cooking? What do you think?
Boiling it.
Boil it? Okay.
Ice.
There you go, that's how hard it was to get the water.
Could you just whip up a brew?
No, you couldn't. Fresh food? Well, surely they didn't have much fresh food, would they?
That one's got a light in it, it's fancy.
Fresh food would not have survived long at sea voyage for Britain. Instead, they took preserved food, canned, dried, bottled and pickled, and people were worried about sell-by dates. Fine. What's this? Food, glorious food. Oh, I think it's already started. Fresh meat? Oh no, we're going to kill the baby seals. He's sitting on split peas. Oh no, poor wee seal.
That's me.
They eat seabirds as well. Penguins. Smelly them are anyway. I like penguins, but Natalie doesn't like them. There you go, they had toast and eggs. They had a lot of bread anyway. Seal meat was hung. Oh, I bet you it was absolutely stinking. We're just looking at some of the provisions here, and it says some products including chocolate, custard powder and mustard were supplied free of charge by companies such as Cadbury's, Birds and Coleman's. It's pretty cool. Oh, me and my dad have this all the time. Maggie. There you go, Georgie boy, they took Maggie on the ship, although it's got a star next to it. What does that mean? It was concentrated Maggie. There you go. Some of the equipment now they used on the ship.
Bob the Builder over here getting tipped.
We've got this stuff here as well. People that built the Discovery. I wonder what this is, number 3. I wonder what this bad boy is. It's a handrail. Imagine trying to put up your shelves with that.
Construction begins.
Is that what this is?
I think it says up there on the top.
Oh, so it does. That's like it's like a screen, guys. It's pretty cool. Just going to have a wee seat here. You can just sit down and watch this. We just learnt that this ship here went to New Zealand, and as they were leaving New Zealand, one of these guys got up the very, very top of the ship to wave goodbye, and the ship tilted, or rolled it said, and he fell off and died. That's crazy, man. This harmonium was on board of the Discovery. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Get your priorities straight. Get a piano on there for the music for the boys.
The pedals say mouse proof at the very bottom.
Oh, so they do. That's pretty cool. Well, they've obviously never met Mickey Mouse then, have they?
Well,
So what's number 9 there, Natalie? What is it?
Battle Doors.
What is that?
It's a game that they use to keep themselves amused.
Or just hit each other with the paddles?
It's a bit like badminton.
Oh, right, and then we've got a wee tiny gun here, so you can see that. And then you've got the big gun for shooting other polar bears. Although I don't think they actually did shoot polar bears, did they? It just says rifles to kill animals.
Look how big these screens are.
Oh aye, well, you stand there and I'll show them. It's hard to even get it into the... Look at the size of them. Massive. I mean, you don't need to put your hand up. You're up there. Oh, the shoes. Big shoe. Oh, look at the frostbitten hand. That looks horrible, man.
It's like a foot.
Oh, it's minging, isn't it? Here's their clothes. Actually looks a wee bit like a beekeeper.
Oh, you're right. Look at the socks, they look cozy.
I know. And then look at your goggles here. 2 sets. One for when you want to go swimming, and one for I don't know what. I mean, I know it's no swimming goggles. Let's see what it says for. They're folding snow goggles in a case. And number 3 is green glass snow goggles. The green tinted lenses took the glare out of the bright white snow, protecting their eyes. These goggles were favoured as they were lightweight enough. The glass did often frost a bit.
And so I totally didn't realise when buying the tickets. I just bought the tickets online because they're a wee bit cheaper than buying them walking up. So when you walk up, they're like £12 something, and online they're £10.90 each. So when we were checking, I just emailed like, oh, we bought the tickets online, and she says, oh, that's great. These are valid for 12 months. So for £10 you can come as many times as you want. It's like an annual pass for a whole year, which is really good value for money.
It's brilliant.
Land in the distant far south, but no one had ever seen it. It was marked on maps, but these were just guesswork or fantasy. Few ships journeyed this far south, except perhaps by accident, blown off course and tossed like matchwood on the frightening giant waves of the Southern Ocean. In 1773, Captain James Cook, on a mission to explore the Southern Pacific Ocean, crossed the Antarctic Circle and sailed as far south as the ice would allow, but he did not sight land. Perhaps there was no land in the south after all, just a vast frozen sea. It was nearly 50 years later, in 1820, that the first sightings of land were finally made. In the years that followed, tentative exploration of Antarctica began. Some of the earliest explorers were whalers and sealers like James Weddell, looking for rich new hunting grounds. Others were national expeditions, British, French, and American, hoping to discover and claim new territories. James Clark Ross led a British expedition exploring the Antarctic coastline and discovering the awesome barrier of ice we now know as the Ross Ice Shelf. These early explorers concentrated on the coastline and islands of Antarctica. Few ventured far inland. All were daunted by the extreme climate and the hostile landscape. For them, Antarctica was more remote and less understood than Mars is for us today. And yet, they were also moved by the great beauty they found there. In 1892, 4 whaling ships left Dundee in search of new hunting grounds in the south. They did find whales in the Antarctic seas, but too big and too powerful for their harpoons. The ships returned home, and for a time, the whales were left in peace. But the Dundee-built ships, tough enough to survive mountainous seas and deadly pack ice, were to play a key role in the coming years. A time that became known as the heroic age of Antarctic exploration. In 1895, an International Geographical Congress declared that Antarctica was the greatest piece of geographical exploration still to be undertaken. Adventurous men were inspired by this challenge, and over the next 25 years, a spate of expeditions from countries all over the world set off for the unknown southern land. Their exploration was heroic, because each expedition was working at the very limits of what was possible at that time. Everything, from their ships to their clothing, their equipment, and their physical endurance, was tested to the limit, and often beyond. And while not every expedition achieved its goals, even the failures would prove to be heroic. In 1901, Robert Falcon Scott set off on his first expedition to the Antarctic, on board the Dundee-built ship, the Discovery. The expedition brought back important scientific findings and mapped vast areas of previously unknown territory. On a near-fatal, grueling march, Scott got closer to the South Pole than anyone had been before, and he discovered and explored the polar plateau, the high, barren interior of Antarctica. French scientist Jean-Baptiste Charcot made 2 trips to Antarctica, mapping the coastline and publishing many volumes of scientific findings. But he also found time to pause for a glass of champagne on Bastille Day. Scotland, meanwhile, had its own national Antarctic expedition, led by William Spears Bruce, a naturalist who had earlier sailed with the 4 Dundee whaling ships. This time his mission was purely scientific, and his ship, the Scotia, skirted the coast and islands of Antarctica, studying meteorology, oceanography, and penguins. Like the space race of the 1960s, Antarctic expeditions followed each other thick and fast in the early years of the 20th century. Increasingly, it was a race to be the first to the South Pole. By 1911, Scott was back in the Antarctic. His ship was a Dundee whaler, the Terra Nova. This time, Scott was planning to reach the pole, and in his own words, to secure for the British Empire the honor of this achievement. But it was not to be. This small tent, with its Norwegian flag, dealt a cruel blow. Explorer Raoul Amundsen had got there first. Though Scott and his men perished on the way back from the pole, their faces suggest this, psychologically, was the moment they died. With the great goal achieved, new challenges had to be found. Ernest Shackleton's expedition to cross the entire continent turned into a desperate struggle of survival against the odds. His ship, the Endurance, was trapped and then crushed by the ice. He and his men drifted, helpless, for months on the ice floes, and were finally forced into 3 small lifeboats as the ice broke up around them. Leaving his men huddled, exhausted, on a blizzard-racked island, Shackleton and 5 volunteers made a desperate 800-mile journey for help in a rowing boat. Crossing seas so brutal, even modern ships avoid them. No wonder they call it the heroic age of Antarctic exploration. The reminders of those days are still there. Things decay slowly in the Antarctic climate. Poignant relics of men who were willing to risk everything for something they barely understood. By the 1920s, the heroic age of Antarctic exploration was coming to an end. From now on, motorized vehicles, aircraft, and telecommunications would dramatically improve the odds for those who ventured south. In 1956, the first permanent research base was set up at the South Pole. 3 years later, the Antarctic Treaty was signed, creating the planet's only continent given over to peaceful scientific pursuits. Even today, those who come to Antarctica have to be tough, both mentally and physically. Machinery and equipment grinds to a halt in the cold. Storms shake and batter buildings, frostbite and worse, await those who venture outside. And in winter, long months without sunlight take their toll in the mind. Yet scientists still choose to come here to learn more about Antarctica and about issues that affect us all. Climate change is visible at the poles, more dramatically than anywhere else on Earth. While our ravenous hunger for power and resources may yet bring an end to Antarctica's unique off-limits status. But for the moment, Antarctica is safe. Scientists monitor their experiments, seals call to their mates, penguins guard their eggs, and as the sun sets, winter begins.
We just got Discovery here, trapped in the ice. It looks pretty cool.
Is that wee guy deliberately fell down, or...?
This wee guy here. Maybe he's accidentally fell down. He's supposed to actually be standing. These wee guys are cracking. Do you think these wee guys come to life like Toy Story?
100%. Like Night at a Museum.
Aye.
Little Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller.
Look at all their wee lives. They're cool actually, aren't they?
Yeah.
That was just about to dress like a polar explorer back in the day. You look great. Lovely. I'm sure you used to have a pair of trousers that looked similar to that.
The baggies are coming back.
Yeah.
They're not going to stay up.
Is there a jacket in there?
I think so.
Oh, there goes the trousers.
We'll be long and getting frostbite. I don't know how it works.
I don't know what that is. Is that a jacket?
I don't know.
Looks like a tent.
I don't know.
Oh well. Is that a smaller one? There you go. You look great. You would well get frostbite back then. We've still not even got it on properly. That's a minute 10 seconds. Polar bears already eaten you.
Oh, you dressed before you went in.
And just for reference, this is how Natalie was supposed to look.
Close. Very close. Don't know.
Go, smell the fish. See if it smells like it.
No.
Yeah? What's this one? Carpet. You get to feel the carpet.
Does feel like carpet.
Does it? What about the fur? It's going to be fur. Fine. It's not that bad, surely. Oh, it does feel a bit weird. What about the gunpowder? Does it smell like it?
Yeah, that smells like gunpowder.
Does it?
They clearly destroyed the fish one.
Look at the size of the mitts. Huge, aren't they? The big ones at the back. Well, obviously the big ones. So I'm saying it's huge.
Fit on my hands.
Oh, you can feel the cold air outside. Like this.
What it's like to be away.
How does it feel to be a whale? You look weird anyway.
I don't know that's what you're supposed to do. Push things into the whale pen and experience the world of a sperm whale. Okay.
How does it feel?
Different.
You definitely don't look like a sperm whale.
I know.
Nah, you need to see what weighs more. What are you going to go for on the red scale?
Cats.
Cats, right, okay. So we've got cats. That's fine. And what are you going to put on the blue scale? Prawns. How do the prawns weigh more than the cats? I'm not buying that. Oh, here's the thing here, it tells you. So it's 200 cats. So the cats weigh more than, what's that?
A whale's heart.
A whale's heart. What about a whale's tongue? Yes, 200 cats do it. But not the prawns.
I agree. A blue whale, I would assume.
Also part of the tour is the Discovery. We've literally just came out from this wee door here and we're just about to go and board the Discovery. And in the background there, that's the VA, I think it's Centre or VA Museum. Looks pretty cool. The Discovery looks cool as well. It's massive. That's where, well, not on this one I don't think, but the guy was at the very top of that and he was trying to wave by to New Zealand and the ball rolled and he fell off, splat right onto the deck, died. I smell that. Alright, yeah. Oh, did that guy give you a fight? Did you think that was a guy? Oh, wouldn't he like to be in here? This is where the construction workers are. Oh no, they are constructing it. Imagine being working in there.
Yeah. But that would make to Antarctica maybe.
Some of the damage on the boat.
The arrow from the top of the cruise now.
Is it? Is that where that guy went in and fell off?
That, a mistake.
Oh aye. Just sitting there, that could be his ice bucket bath.
I wasn't aware we were going to have a heart attack, so it was like a walking.
Oh, that guy you're there as well.
Like horror.
In front of you.
Yeah.
Just sitting there. What a Halloween Horror Nights basically.
HHN Dundee. Sea water comes in and you sink the ship.
Right, well, we won't be opening that.
Don't do it.
What is this bit anyway? Not too sure. The ward? No, I don't know what it is either. There's a wee guy, another wee guy hiding in there. We'll go down and see if we can see him. Just to our left hand side. I think this is the boiler room, isn't it? It says here, well this bit isn't the boiler room, but this bit here is the boiler room. There's the wee guy there. Oh, camera's not focused. Oh, imagine that was your job by the way all day. To just stuff the coal into that. Oh, what size it? Go stand next to it. You see? I know. Your lungs would be filled with coal. It'd be horrible, wouldn't it? And this is a wardroom now. What they got through here now is that's just a wee kiddies bit. Wee bit where the kids can all come and play. Pretty cool. I think we've found where I would be all the time. Getting my roast totties and that cooked for. And I've got a wee casserole dish like this as well. Same colours, isn't it?
Oh my goodness, there's a little cat over there.
So there is. Right in the corner. There's the stores. We'll get sick bay. Let's see what sick bay look like. Oh, there's, oh, look at that person's teeth. See them at the bottom there? Oh.
Scurvy.
Yuck. That's not very good. Saying here in the early days there was no formal bathroom, so portable canvas or rubber baths were used for bathing or washing clothes. During the later expeditions a proper bath was sited here. Look at the beam to see where it was used. Can you see it?
Where you shoved it off the space.
Right. Christ's sake. So this is where this is the bath. This is the bathroom. It's tiny. Then his wee quarters here, look at this.
Oh, that's nice wee bed.
Just coming. What do they call it? A wee nook?
Really nicely painted.
That's cool. Got a wee dark room here that you can get in here. Oh, maybe you're not supposed to go in there. The door opened, but this is pretty cool. We just forget, we just went in a dark room.
They're so cute.
Yeah, pretty cool. I mean, I don't think I would, I'm not cut out for boat life. It's not really my cup of tea. It's cool to walk around it and all that, but it's not really,
I couldn't be stuck on here till it.
nah. This is where the captains and all that came.
Yeah.
This is the wardroom. Oh,
Yeah.
that's another wee bedroom. He's a second lieutenant. This is his wee room. That's a cracking wee room actually compared to the rest of them. There's going to be some more over here. Oh look, they've got decent lighting, cracking amount of normal lighting. And then they've got, I mean, if you're a third lieutenant or something like that, this is a life, isn't it? Just look at it. It's really nice. Oh, look at this one at the end.
Captain Scott.
That's Captain Scott, aye. Look at that.
Cozy.
God's sake, alright for some. I know. They're nice, aren't they? Well, some of them are nice. But this one is a bit... Oh, you can come in this. Right, there you go. There's your room. There's your bed, Natalie. How would you like that? It's a bit tight, isn't it? Very tight. A bit cosy.
It's a no from me.
Yes, it's a no from me as well.